Hey everybody, Big Rick here for Game Trade Media. We've got Shelly with Avalon Hill bringing us, first off, as you all know, I love Dungeons & Dragons. And as you can see in that box over there, it might be related. Please tell us.
There might be a correlation.
Yes.
I think this game could be for you. This is Betrayal at Baldur's Gate.
Now deep breaths, because Baldur's Gate is iconic when it comes to D&D, Forgotten Realms, all that stuff. I actually, in my own home campaign, we recently passed through it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Just passed through?
Just passed through. Oh, we couldn't stay. We had a mission.
Oh, okay.
But the fact that you guys are coming out with a Baldur's Gate themed Betrayal game.
There's a reason for that. Yeah. Well, the Betrayal and Baldur's Gate kind of go together.
Absolutely.
So it's a game. If you might have guessed, it is related to Betrayal at House on the Hill, which is my favorite board game.
Okay.
And so I'm just going to keep making Betrayal games until they tell me to stop making them. If you're
Sounds
cool
good.
with that. Yeah.
Sounds great.
So we made a Betrayal themed game that is set in the world of Baldur's Gate. We use the same mechanics from House on the Hill. So if you're familiar with House on the Hill, or anybody who's playing this game is familiar with it, it's out of the box, start playing, you know how to play it.
Absolutely.
It's the same exploration. It's amazing though how similar D&D and Betrayal at House on the Hill are, that this mashup just kind of came together and it was really smooth.
Smooth and fluid.
Yeah, I mean you have a party of adventurers.
Right.
You're exploring a city. You're collecting loot and treasure along the way.
Right.
There's combat. It's very story driven. As with the House on the Hill version, there are 50 haunts that are included in this game, and they're all D&D themed haunts, and they essentially act as like mini campaigns for you.
Nice.
So you're encountering monsters. The only thing that's different than your typical tabletop D&D game, I don't know how you play, but you don't typically like split the party and then
that's a rule you do not do. I mean, you split the party, you tend to die.
Never split the party unless someone is the traitor.
Okay.
And then you're going to split the party. So, but a couple of things. It might not be your fault.
Oh.
A mind flayer might have made you do something terrible.
As they will do.
As they will do. Or it's Baldur's Gate.
It's Baldur's Gate. There's a lot of secrets in Baldur's Gate that could affect you.
You might have an ulterior motive. You might, be doing something to help someone else, but your party might suffer in the process. Maybe you weren't that good of friends. I don't know.
Right. Yeah. It just happens that way.
It just happes. But because it is D&D, we did include more cooperative haunts in this game than typically found in House on the Hill.
So looking at this, we have the tiles here that represent, the rooms or the portions of the city. I see you have buildings, catacombs, and the street.
Yes.
And that all builds out together.
So you're building the city of Baldur's Gate.
Okay.
Instead of a house.
As you explore it.
As you explore it, yes. So again, as with the original game, it'll be different every time you play because you don't know which order the tiles are going to come out in.
Nice.
But again, because this is D&D, all good adventures start in the tavern.
As they should.
As they should. So stock up on your pints of mead because you're going to the Elf Song Tavern, which is a location from Baldur's Gate. Are you familiar with the Elf Song?
I am familiar with Elf Song.
So because you're a Baldur's Gate guy, there's a lot that you'll appreciate in here. There's a lot of lore that we definitely paid attention to.
Nice.
We have somebody on our team, Matt Cernat, who is the lore master.
Oh.
So when we had him look at every piece, every card, every haunt, every tile, and he looked at the Elf Song Tavern the first go around, and he said, "It's not the Elf Song Tavern."
No.
He said, the Elf Song Tavern has blue drift globes the size of grapefruits that hover in the air. Did you know that?
I did know this.
Are you serious?
Yeah, it's one of the things that is when that location is descriptive to you or described to you.
Yeah.
That is one of the focal points of that location.
So I said, if Matt knows that, someone else is going to know that. We want to make sure we're representing Baldur's Gate. There's also a stuffed beholderkin behind the bar that was not there originally, but Matt said that is part of the Elf Song Tavern. So lots of little nods to Baldur's Gate in here.
Like it.
If you're a fan of Minsk and Boo, do you remember Minsk and Boo?
Yes, that's the Boo, and he's crazy.
Go for the eyes,
Yeah, go for the
eyes,
eyes,
Boo.
Boo.
Giant space hamster.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a nod to them here too.
Okay, because I was wondering, because when you're playing the video game and you run into that guy, he's crazy.
He's crazy.
Yeah, so it's great.
Yeah, so you'll come across him here.
So I like these little character cards too.
Yes, let's talk about
really
them.
I'm going to put one right up here so that we can get a close-up of it. So what are the different markers around the edge of the
So, well, one thing to point out, if you have played A House on the Hill, maybe you had markers that didn't, they might have had a little sliding problem.
Yes.
Well, these don't. Look.
They
stay on.
These are quite solid.
Yeah, so we actually, we know that was a problem for some people, so we definitely paid attention to that. But similar to House on the Hill, you have might, you have speed, you have knowledge, and you have sanity. This represents your health throughout the game, and it goes up and down depending on what happens to you. You're playing D&D characters, classes, and races, and you all have an adventurer power, which is unique to your character that you can use throughout the game. And the characters are, of course, double-sided, so you have a choice of 12 different characters to play throughout the game. This is my favorite, I will tell you. I usually go for the magic user, but in this game, I like the halfling druid, Gretchen Titchwillow, because she wild shapes. Oh, wow. And I always almost choose to wild shape into a badger. Nice. And you haven't played a board game until you have encountered a badger with a berserker axe.
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah.
She's very, very powerful. Cool. So yes, because these are D&D characters, really iconic classes and races, and just one adventurer power, this game also serves as a really good intro to D&D.
Absolutely.
So if you have somebody who's been wanting to try it, but maybe doesn't have the time to invest in creating a character, or they're a little hesitant for whatever reason, this is a really good intro. You get a feel for what it's like to be a D&D character and explore a city.
I can see you could actually, incorporate a role-playing sense to this. Because,
I role-play.
Yeah, you take on Miska Silversong's character, and you role-play her as you're walking through Baldur's Gate. Yeah. And now it has, I see 3 rule books here, or 3 books, not all rules, because I'm guessing the ones that say do not read until the
haunt triggers.
Right?
Yes.
So those are the storyline-driven events.
Yes, that's where you'll find the 50 different haunts.
Okay.
Yeah, one version for the heroes and one version for the traitor.
Ooh.
Yes.
Nice.
And then, of course, the rule book. Now, the rule book also has a, right on page 2, there is a section that says, here's what's different. If you've played House on the Hill, here's the things that are different in this version, and it's just a really quick, easy checklist for you to reference.
Now, how many players?
3 to 6.
3 to 6. Approximately how long does it take to play this game?
So I've seen games from 45 minutes to 2 hours and 20 minutes.
Wow.
There was one last night that we demoed it last night here, and they could not trigger that haunt to save their lives.
Okay.
Yes. So and they also would not split the party, which I thought was interesting.
But because they know the rule.
Well, yeah, but everybody else, we did like over 500 play tests for this game, and everybody was like, boom, boom, just like
doing their own
just
thing.
Took off. And this party, they were all just like so carefully following it, like, hey, wait for me, guys, wait for me around the city. I'm like, oh, you guys. They were like excited when one of their party found a really cool weapon. Like, he's gonna be the traitor, you guys.
Yeah, he's gonna get a weapon. He's gonna use it against you.
This is
You're
not
done.
good.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
And this will be available when?
October 6th, right before Halloween.
There you have it.
Yes.
Very cool. Well, thank you, Shelley.
Yes, thank you.
This is amazing. I absolutely look forward to seeing more of this and playing it and doing an awesome video to play it with my friends back at the studio.
All right.
It'll be a blast.
Yeah, cool.
So there you have it, everybody. Make sure you go to your local retailer, let them know that you want a copy of Betrayal of Baldur's Gate. Have them get it on their shelf, and when you're playing it, take some pictures. Let us see you guys playing it as well. Yeah. We'd love to see you out there being a part of the gaming community. We appreciate everything you guys are doing, watching us here today. Again, thank you, Shelley. Thanks, Avalon Hill.
Yes.
Thanks, Dungeons and Dragons, for bringing us all this cool stuff all the time. Have a wonderful afternoon, everybody.
Thank you.
Don't forget to subscribe to Game Trade Media. Leave a like and comment on what videos you'd like to see next.